Well, back to school is fast approaching. There are questions around what things are going to be like at Kwantlen Polytechnic University. In a memo to staff on Tuesday, KPU has announced plans for further staff cuts, this time up to the equivalent of 45 full-time positions. These cuts are linked to declines in international student enrollment. And for more, we've reached Mark Diotte. He is the KPU Faculty Association president. Mark, hi there. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me on the program.
Well, thank you. How does this news of staff cuts strike you?
It is traumatic. I mean, as of September 1st, we're going to see approximately 42 faculty members laid off, and an additional 8 notices have gone out this week. And so it's very demoralizing for faculty, and we're already seeing some impacts on Canadian students at the university.
Okay, well, let's talk about impacts on the students that are there then. What kinds of impacts?
Well, for example, a lot of popular courses have extensive wait lists, and typically we would open up new sections for those students to enroll. But right now, because there's less international students subsidizing the domestic students, so to speak, those classes don't get opened up. And so we see fewer sections offered, fewer course options, fewer program options, and longer wait times to graduate.
I see. And what about students that have already, started down their path to a degree, for example? If there are instructors or profs that are being laid off right now, could that have an impact on their path?
Yes, I think that it's very possible that it will delay graduation. Of course, our instructors are the main reason that people come to the institution. They bring in millions of dollars of funding into Kwantlen. That's what attracts students, for the renowned research and teaching ability of our faculty. And so as those students progress through their programs, they don't get to see the reasons why they came there. They don't get their favorite instructor or the most recognized instructor, perhaps. And of course, there's less course options, and so it may be harder for them to graduate.
Can you give us an idea, just what are the numbers, when we're talking about international students, the numbers dwindling? What are the figures? Do you know?
I don't have the most recent international figures. I believe that something like 60% from this time last year has been the drop. Our main concern as the Faculty Association, of course, is that we believe that between faculty layoffs and some of the mitigation factors, such as retirement incentives, the dry up of contract work, and so forth, we estimate somewhere between 10 to 20% of the faculty complement of over 1,000 faculty members may be lost. And that's a generational change. That's a loss of knowledge at the institution, a loss of connections to industry, a loss of connections to the community, and so it's really troubling.
The acting president of KPU, Diane Purvey, she sent a memo to staff earlier this week, and it does outline. It says 2,360 international students will be attending this fall, but as you point out, that is down 60% from the same semester 2 years ago, just before the federal government introduced changes to study permits. So with enrollment down, according to Diane Purvey, because of the changes with the federal government, do you see another way to manage the university without reducing the program content?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, some institutions have chosen to seek permission from the ministry to go into a deficit budget. Kwantlen's not one of those institutions. We could have had a more aggressive marketing plan in place in order to attract students from, say, the United States, for example. So we do think that different situations could have been entertained. However, the big problem for us is, where's the provincial government in all this? We have yet to see them step forward and address this issue head on. The Ontario government immediately put in $1.4 or $1.3 billion to stabilize the situation. The BC government, we know, has approximately $4 billion in a contingency fund, but it's been silenced. And so instead of pointing fingers at the federal government and the federal government pointing fingers at the provincial government, we would like both to come together, talk to the unions, talk to the faculty, and find a sustainable way forward from this situation.
Now, Mark, I'm sure you're well aware KPU isn't alone in this. There are, universities and institutions right across the region, right across the country, in fact, that are facing similar issues. What kinds of conversations are you having with your peers?
It's the same conversation where faculty are feeling demoralized, and I think people are upset that this system was never sustainable. Essentially, the growth of international students has coincided with the loss of public funding of post-secondary institutions, and it was never sustainable. And so everyone's feeling the same way. Like, let's get the provincial government into a room with the federal government instead of pointing fingers and find a sustainable way forward. We know that the provincial government has so far been telegraphing that they want to follow the same model and have set international student targets for all of the institutions. But at that point, we're at the whim of the international student tuition fees once again, and there will be further turbulence ahead. It's also likely not fair to the international students themselves, paying 4 times the tuition of domestic students. And that's troubling for our instructors too.
Well, and as we're talking right now, we're just getting messages from some of our listeners. Deb says, I've been told the business school at Langara, which is the financial engine of the university, have laid off close to 100 profs. So that, again, is not verified right now, but I'm sure the word is spreading as a lot of post-secondary institutions ramp up for the new school year. Mark, listen, thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you.